Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another First Appearance Friday, and this time out, obviously, talking about the Golden Age Flash, Mr. Jay Garrick himself, and yes, I'll get to Barry Allen at some point. Anyway, let's get to it. So looking at the cover, and we know this is one of the most iconic comic covers ever created, and it's a beautiful image. I really do like this. I particularly like the reprints where it erases the Hawkman and other advertisements on the side. But it really is a dynamic image. But there's always been one little thing that's bothered me, and that is the fact that he's about to be shot through the hand. I know he's supposed to be catching the bullet, and it's done better in the book, but this particular image, yeah, that bullet's going through, buddy. God bless Gardner Fox for helping to create the original Flash. I'll never take that away from him. However, this introductory image to the Flash that we get when we open the book, he's running on his tiptoes. He's got a rectangular body, and his right leg must be a foot shorter than his left leg for it not to be sticking out from behind him. It's not a great image to start off, but let's see where the book goes. Faster than the streak of lightning in the sky, swifter than the speed of the light itself, fleeter than the rapidity of thought is the Flash. Reincarnation of the winged Mercury, his speed is dismay of scientist. Dismay? Like they're saddened because he's fast? I'm not. Gosh darn it, why is he so fast? I'm so dismayed. The joy of the oppressed and the open-mouthed wonder of the multitudes. And when I was talking about the cover, I accidentally referred to the lady as Iris. It's not. Her name's Joan. And in the rest of the page, we see Jay Garrick trying to catch up to her. Joan, come on, wait up for me. And he says, hey, how about your victory dance date with me? And she says, nah, you're just a scrub on the football team, which means he's not really good at it, doesn't practice and such like that. And he goes, wait, you won't go out with me because I'm a football scrub? And she says, nah, it's because somebody with your build and brains could be a star. You're just an old washwoman. You won't put your mind on football. Now, if I were him, it'd be like red flag. She just wants a football player. Go the other direction. She really seems like a woman whose reputation will be made in the locker room. On the next page, we see Jay Garrick vowing that he'll get better at football so he can win Joan over. Unfortunately, he can't. He is a scrub, as it says. But we get back to the lab. But in the research laboratory, the football dub is a brilliant student. Jay, you've studied the gases emanating from hard water for 3 years. This new experiment, I know what it means, Professor. I'll separate the elements. Long into the night, the experiment goes on, as we see Jay say, 3:30, I need a smoke. Sounds like weaponized nerd rage. 3:30 in the morning, time to light up that lighter. And he's sitting there, oh, boy, that feels good. Football training or no training. And okay, you're a scientist. You're doing an experiment instead of mind on the experiment. And he's thinking about football, fine. Leans in and knocks over all of his beakers, causing fumes from the hard water to flow up. After doing some research for this issue, I found that he wouldn't be getting super speed so much as eczema. Or maybe heart disease if he was exposed to a lot of it. But yeah, I don't think super speed is on the menu for hard water exposure. But since comics are weird and Golden Age comics are even weirder, let's continue. Oh, that gas, it's powerful stuff. Overcome by the fumes, Jay lurches forward. It's too much for me. All night long, Jay inhales the deadly fumes of the gas elements of hard water in the early dawn. Professor Hughes becomes curious. Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there, but I'm thinking if you're breathing deadly fumes all night, perhaps, maybe, he'd be dead? I know, it's a crazy theory, and I'm just tossing it out there. Like I said, comic books can be weird, but let's continue. The professor finds him. Jay, oh my boy, help me. Help somebody. Is it serious? Well, he was breathing deadly fumes all night. I don't know, it's a new gas. You know, I can't foresee its results. Okay, it was new, but they knew it was deadly. Jay lies between life and death for weeks, but the young, healthy body fights back to life. Boy, that food tastes good. Could eat a horse. You'll eat mush for another week and like it. hey, look, it's Midge from the Archies. And so we meet up with a professor, and he's talked to another doctor. He says, hey, it's strange, we've taken 20 tests, and they all indicate the same thing. I don't want to alarm you, Professor. Unless the specialist from New York is crazy, your boy will be the fastest thing ever walked on Earth. The elements of hard water will speed up a person's reflexes. The gas injects him like a vaccination. It injects him. You know, the writing here is almost like somebody who is really dumb trying out big words for the first time. Why is it that in the 40s, scientists never had necks? Just wondering. Anyway, it says science knows that hard water makes a person act much quicker than ordinarily. I looked it up and they said it could be just like milk and magnesia. That's why I use that joke. So it could make you move more than ordinarily in some ways. But also, if they knew this, why wouldn't they go, hey, hard water for everybody. Let's change the world. Everybody's got super speed now. So Barry sees Joan getting on a bus, wants to catch up, and rushes down the stairs, and he finds out he's got the super speed, and the first words we hear out of his mouth as the Flash are, "We can I travel?" Now, if you're traveling at super speed for the first time, you didn't know you could do it, I think it'd be more like, oh crap, or, you know, something like that. Like, holy shit, I can't believe this. Not, we can I travel. You would, I think there would be a little bit of surprise there. Not a, woohoo, I know this is going on. That just doesn't make sense. So he catches up to Joan, and she's like, oh, hey, where'd you come from? All of a sudden, you appeared before me. We'll ignore the fact that he's behind her. She's so startled, as a matter of fact, she decides to give up on the bus she was getting on, telling him that she was going to go to the library to get a book. He says, hold on, I won't be just a minute. And then we see a stunned librarian going, huh, you sprang from thin air. And he's like, never mind, stamp this book. Because he's kind of rude to her that way. Not wanting to keep his super speed a secret, he dashes out right in front of the librarian, leaving her to go, he's disappeared, I'm going to faint, and I think I will. And Joan says, why you've got it, and you weren't gone 2 seconds even. Jay, what happened to you? It scares me, sort of, but I guess I'm just a freak of science. Anyhow, will you go to the dance with me? I'm a freak. Go with me. And she says, I will, Jay, if you consent to play in the state game. I'm telling you, Jay, run away. She's got a type. All right. You can't be a football player your entire life, Jay. That's all I'm saying. That's it. So he does agree to go and play in the state game. But being known as Leadfoot Jay isn't helping him, so he's sitting on the bench when we see the team pulling off an injured player. The coach says, Bill Tyron's hurt, Jay. Get in there. We have nobody else. Leadfoot, apparently one person in the crowd, or two people, is Leadfoot, GARE, Kevin, help us. It's 30-0 against us now. It'll be 90-0. And, of course, he's saying, okay, well, now I'm going to show everybody. And he looks kind of either sleepy or drunk in the bottom two panels here. Where, to tell you the truth, if you knew what was coming, he'd be immediately searched for in performance-enhancing drugs. And so Jay just uses super speed right in front of everybody, man. I thought, okay, this is Golden Age is funny sometimes because he's just zipping right along on that football field. And it's the same dialogue from the hospital. I ain't playing no ghost. It's a hurricane. I can't even see him. Yeah, it's the same stuff from it's really lazy writing. I love the Flash, man. And I got to say, I actually like Golden Age Flash, but it's funny when you read these and start breaking them down, how it just falls apart. So while everybody else is playing the game, he goes up to ask Joan how he's doing it, and she just thinks it's great because, you know, she wants to bang football players. So Jay continues to use his speed to help win the football game by a huge margin, and as he's hoisted on the shoulders of his other players, he brags about how he's a football star and he's going to bang the football slut later. And the next panel just shows them graduating. Joan telling Jay what she's planning to do after college says, I'm going to help my dad in his atomic bombarder scientific researches. So his dad, her dad, who looks like he's dressed in military garb, is studying how to bombard things with atomic things. All right. Way to go. And Jay is off for his assistant professorship at Coleman University. And while he's there, one evening in New York, he reads the papers saying racketeers wreck stores, because they all had those kind of titles back then, I guess. And he says maybe the district attorney wasn't fast enough for them, but something ought to be done about this. And that night, the gangsters are visited by a figure clad in the wings of Mercury, a human bolt of lightning, the Flash. For such a buildup, they have the criminals stopped off camera. As a matter of fact, all the racketeers, we see them next saying, well, that's the last bit of this. I'm not going to do this no more. He took the boss and coughed up all the dough, and I'm going to be selling papers, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. This makes Jay Garrick feel good about himself, and he decides, hey, I'm going to use my powers for good and stop crime. But the next day, he decides to take a little exercise by playing tennis with himself, which Joan and the professor sees him, and the professor says, he goes so fast I can't see him. And Joan says there's only one person who can do that, Jay Garrick. Joan Williams, it's great to see you again. What have you been doing? Jay, something terrible has happened. I thought you could help. Daddy's been kidnapped. And at that point, a car moves up and Jay pulls Joan out of the way to protect her. And here we get the cover image. However, in the comic book, Jay Garrick's not wearing the Flash outfit. He's firing at Joan, and the bullet is fired, but the Flash leaps into instant action. Attuning himself to the speed of the bullet to avoid injury, he lurches forward. Now, little one, where are you going? The tremendous speed of the Flash's reactions matches the speed of the bullet, and he catches it in flight. Whoa there. And as you can see, right here, with just a change of the direction the bullet's coming from, and the tilt of his hand shows that he's actually going to catch it. This is a lot different than the hand going, the bullet going through his hand, which we see on the cover. So next scene, we see Jay's actually bouncing the bullet up in his hand. I'll be up tonight. You can tell me all about it. I think you're marvelous. I know you can help me. Amazing, amazing, but I still don't believe it. And in another part of town, gentlemen, Joan Williams is dead. Next, we see three guys we have not yet met, and they're talking about basically how bad and evil they are. I seer Satan, because bad Mickety bad guy was already taken. I don't understand that name at all. Say that Williams will now tell us his secret base of the atomic bombarder. And I, Sergei Orlov, surgeon extraordinaire, will give his daughter life if he tells. So the plan is kill the daughter, and if he does what you want, bring her back to life. Not a good plan. So they go to the professor, where apparently he was in a room of mirrors, and the torture he's going through is having to see his reflection. These mirrors are stealing my mind. But you devil, I'll not tell. Not even for Joan's life. She wouldn't want me to. I might act like that bothered me also, so they don't actually put me in a real torture room. Oh my gosh, I've been looking at myself all day. I'm so crazy now. The bad guys are talking about their plans, and we're shown, not really introduced to, another character. We must find the secret of the atomic bombarder. We can sell it to several foreign nations for a cool $1 million each. It's a marvelous war weapon, this new guy says, but Williams will not talk. Okay, I guess he's got an accent of some sorts. But yeah, we haven't seen that guy before. All of a sudden he's here. Where's the white-haired dude? Allow me to visit the girl's home as an undertaker. I shall bring the body back here. The shock of seeing his daughter dead might make him talk. So they keep the dead bodies at the house until it's time to bury, I guess. I don't know, 1940s. Wasn't there. Not that old. Next, we see Duriel trying to find Joan's body, dead body, as it were. He asks Jay Garrick on the road, do you know the dead girl? What, oh, you mean Miss Williams? Yeah, she had an accident today, did she not? Now, how does he know that unless he knows who shot at her? This is very interesting. And Joan steps out and he realizes, oh my gosh, she's still alive. And he drives off. As he drives off, Joan tells Jay, hey, he must be one of the Faultless Four. And inside the apartment, Joan decides she's going to tell everybody what they need to know and starts talking about the Faultless Four. 3 months ago, Daddy received a card signed the Faultless Four asking for his secret bombarder. He wouldn't tell them the elements, so they kidnapped him. They have great power, and all of them are brilliant scientists. They probably have your father a prisoner. This looks like the work for the Flash. Adieu, my dear. Jay, he's gone again, but maybe he'll find Daddy. And once again, the Flash is on his way with the speed of light. If I just increase my speed, I may find my Undertaker friend before he gets home. There's the car now, turning into that apartment courtyard. So Jay decides to hide so he can hear their evil plan. The bad guys talk about how they need to kill Joan since they bungled it the first time, and the Flash steps in and says, well, that might not be such a good idea. And the new bad guy decides to shoot at him. We never got a name for him. Where we see the Flash, in the pose that he was in on the cover, catch the bullet again. Now, how does the Flash stop a bullet in flight without suffering injury to himself? Explanation: his process of thought and action due to his inhalation of the hard water gases have been so quickened that he has the speed of light itself, and as a result, he can easily match the speed of a bullet. When two bodies travel along together at equal speed, even though they meet, there is absolutely no friction and therefore no injury. Well, finally, the writer gets through an explanation without sounding stupid. Good for you. Good. We're going to put this on the fridge. Jay shows the amazed villains the bullet he plucked out of the air, and then runs away to go get Joan's father. Jay Garrick opens up the door to see the professor, who is either really sick and tired of looking at himself or he's trying to have sex with himself. I can't really tell by the look on his face. Jay says, jump up here, puts him on his shoulders, and they run off. So Joan and her father reunite, but Jay Garrick can't stand around. He has to go find out the plans of the Faultless Four. So the Flash listens in to their evil deeds and their plans. Then it's all set for the morning at Coney Island Beach. Right, the scare will throw people into a panic and we will get Joan and her father while the police are looking for us at Coney Island. And the Flash thinks, if I let them go through with it, secure in the belief all works smoothly, I'll get them in the act of murder. Okay, let's get them in the attempt, okay? Not the act. Just attempting the murder. Please don't wait for them to actually kill somebody before you step in. The next day at crowded Coney Island Beach, it starts. The attack from the sky. This'll get enough police here so that our attack on Joan and her father will go off like clockwork. Oh, they're more interested in killing a whole bunch of people on a beach. So he's firing the bullets into the crowd, which, by the way, at this point, because the Flash is taking time to undress, there's some dead people already. At the very least, show some speed lines around the Flash as he's getting undressed. Let us think that he's going faster than normal. But, of course, I'm wrong, and we see that the Flash is going around catching all the bullets coming down from the sky. The Flash, I must warn the others! And the guy flies away. In and out of traffic slips the Flash. And Flash zooms through the cars. I thought I saw something then. It's a sudden wind. Have you noticed how many people have mentioned the wind in this book? I'll slow up and let them see me. The game's up. It's the Flash. Get in. Drive to the apartment. He grabs onto Joan. Are you all right, Joan? Yes, Daddy and I are safe. This time, no mercy. What a dramatic line, only to see them standing around in a room in the next panel, as Sir Satan, or whatever his name was, skips out behind them. And just like every other bad guy's lair in every other Golden Age comic book, the floor was wired with electricity. And Sir Satan says, I've killed the Flash. I've electrocuted him. The room is wired to kill. I've killed them all. And so the Flash stands behind him. Didn't you see me slip out of the room with you? You can't escape me. You would think he would feel he's the only person that doesn't feel the wind. In my new car, I must get away from you. How is he even capable of reaching the car? The Flash should have beat him down like with the first step, but nope. The next panel, but even the speed of the car is not. It just says, but even the speed car is not fast enough. Okay, you shall also die, even as Duriel, Orloff, and Smith. Satan's mind cracks under the terrific say, I must get away, and he decides the way to get away is to drive off a cliff. Can't take a bad guy to jail in the Golden Age, I guess. The Flash is already at the bottom of the ravine. I'm on hand just to see your finish, Sir Satan. Thus ends the threat of the Faultless Four. And then back home, all is good, all is well. The Major General and Joan Allen here standing around having a drink. Yes, the Flash person is the most marvelous fellow. He saved my life and broke up the four. Do you know him, Joan? Most interesting. I just can't imagine, Dad. Anyhow, a secret's a secret, isn't it? Wink. Next month, another amazing story of the one and the only, the Flash. And there you go, true believers, the very first story starring the Flash. In this case, like I said, it's Jay Garrick, not Barry Allen, so it's Golden Age. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. The story is very simple, and at some places it's kind of dumb, in all honesty. The dialogue is just bad at points. It's like I said before, it really does feel like somebody who doesn't know how to use big words was trying to use big words. And sometimes I'm that guy, so I understand how bad that can be. The art is okay. I mean, it's like great panels and the poses, but most of the people are just like rectangles with heads on them. And I got to admit, when I wasn't really digging into this, I enjoyed it. But when I was going panel to panel looking at things, it kind of fell apart. I don't know. It's fun, but dumb. That would be my review of Flash Comics #1, the first appearance of Flash. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? What did you think of the first appearance of Jay Garrick as the Flash? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or like me, did you think it was fun but dumb? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, I'd like to hear about it. Please, by all means, that's how we could tell videos are successful. Clicks and comments. So just put it down in the comment below, whatever you think. Click like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification if you haven't already. That's the part that YouTube actually pays attention to. Also, if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon and or Ko-Fi. Drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. Now, there are monthly plans as well, and if you don't mind just helping out with a tip, there's a tip jar on Ko-Fi. Easy peasy. Like, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.